And hello, everybody. This is Denise Guru, your Ascension Oracle. And I just have to tell you, I've been in a funk for the last couple weeks. And last Tuesday up here in Colorado, the night, let's see, we got 2 feet of snow. The night before, or the day before, I should say, it was 89 degrees. And when you're like 8,500 feet up, the sun up here is just brutal. And so 89 here is like 100 degrees, 99 degrees down in the Front Range. And so because of the cloud, the smoke haze was so bad because of the fires, we had to keep our windows closed, and it was just so hot. And the next morning we woke up, it was raining and it was windy and it snowed 2 feet. One of my hummingbirds got buried under the snow and died. The horses were just miserable because they don't have their winter coats on. It was just ridiculous. It went from 89 degrees to 23 degrees the next night. So you can imagine we were all miserable. And I don't know if that's part of the reason. I think we're seeing weather warfare all over the place. But between the snow and the smoke and the fires here in Colorado, it's just been really hard. And I've been in a funk, and let me tell you, but I've also been a little distracted from my own personal path. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of us these days. There's so much distraction going on and the social media platforms. And with more and more people joining the platforms and voicing their opinions, it's just like, it's like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, this person's saying this person. So we're so stuck on looking outside of us once again for information. It's always, looking for the person with the next best, latest and greatest intel out there. And I've been feeling that Cobra was just put out a update, and he was saying that there's a lot more channels out there that have been infiltrated by the dark. We know that, but a lot of us are listening to them, and these people only give 50% of the truth, and so it's really hard for us to discern. And so the closer we get to maybe hopefully the finish line, the harder it's going to be. And so I just decided to pull back from all of it, and go back to my roots, go back to what keeps me going and keeps me out of this funk, and picking up on the collective. The collective has just been crazy, and I've been picking up on that, and I just been a total crab ass. My poor husband. So this morning I picked 3 cards, and it has to do with this distraction that's going on, and what is happening with those who are like me, those who have sort of fallen off their path a little bit. And I decided I'm going to pull away from all the social media and stop watching all that. It is an addiction, and that's exactly what they want us to do. They want us to be addicted to finding information outside of us. So the oracle in me decided to pull 3 cards, and the first card I got after I said, okay, I'm going to pull back and I'm going to start doing my stuff again. What would happen if everybody like me did the same thing? Took a break and reconnected with their inner selves and what feeds their soul. First card I got was the dance celebration. And so that's a positive card. And that card is saying that, source, creator, God, the goddess, whichever you want to refer to the source as, wants all of us to be happy and joyful and in celebration. And so this is what we should be doing right now. We should go back and we should just stop listening to all that. And we should take a moment and just celebrate and dance and drum and, whatever puts you in that celebratory state. And so when I asked that, I want to pull back, hey, That's great. Let's celebrate. Okay. So the second card was, well, what's going to be our challenge? What is it going to be our challenge? What has been our challenge? What has been my challenge right now with all of this distraction and all this news? And I just get a little confrontational because I see so much of it and I see right through it, you know, being the empath and the wise old woman that I am. And so the second card was wolf, an instinct. And so the challenge here is for us to get back to our instinct. It's all about listening to our inner selves. And don't let anybody tell you what you are getting within yourself is wrong. You need to cut those people free. And I've had some friends, not real close friends, but acquaintances, colleagues. And, you know, when they start telling me what I'm getting is wrong, that's when I pull away from these people. And that's when I just have to let these people go. We're all on our own path. So I can't tell you what's wrong or right for you. You know inside, you know instinctually what is right and wrong for you. For me, I'm just telling you right now, I don't have all the answers. I'm just a wise old woman that's just got a big mouth and that likes to share. And maybe there's somebody who is kind of like in my soul group that kind of resonates with some of what I say, and maybe something I say will trigger them to look further and go deeper. And so, yes, so it's all about, yeah, we've lost our instinct. We're relying on everybody else's information. And so that, you know, so it's time for us to go and just rely on our inner selves. It's that time now, you guys. And so in doing so, in doing the celebration and in stepping back and taking a break and doing our own inner work and getting our own messages and, you know, doing our own mission, what message is there for me and you for doing that? Forest, breath. And so when I was pulling these cards, I also was thinking about going back to my roots, going back to who I am, to what I've been doing these last 25, 30 years, what I've been connected to. And it's all about the Gaia, Mother Earth. It's all about her. It's all about the people that came here to assist her and assist humanity, what their job was and who they were and how they were and the abilities they have. And we have many names for them: shamans, witches, priestesses, priests, you know, those different. So that's where I am connected. And so for those of you who say, yes, I want to connect back with my roots and what really feeds my soul, what's the message there? So forest, breath. So it's that's where you thrive. You know, when you get into the forest, the air is different, the oxygen is better. It's that symbiotic relationship between the animals and the plants and the trees and us. If we go into the forest with reverence and humility and harmony and oneness. So it's saying, yes, 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 do that. That's where you thrive. That's where you live. That's where the oxygen is. That's where the breath of life is. So this is what we need to do, right, guys? All right, 3 great cards. So speaking of that, I'm talking to the people who believe in living with Gaia and living with her in harmony and learning about the past. And it's all about all of us, including the men, rediscovering the divine balance within us. And the one thing that we've done is we've lost connection to the divine feminine, the goddess within us. And that includes the men. The poor men, they've suffered too, because it's all masculinity. It's all, you know, you gotta forsake that nurturing, caring side, the side that looks at the feminine and goes, I see what is in her. I see the parts of her that complete the parts of me, and I see what she has to offer, and I honor her and I offer there. So it's all about returning to the goddess and it's not just going to back to matriarchy. The beginning was not matriarchy, it was egalitarian. It was the balance where the masculine and the feminine, you know, the yin and the yang, it was a complete balance. They saw the gifts that each side had. It was like the living with the twin souls, you know, your twin flame. That's what I mean, twin flames on earth here. And so we've really lost contact with that. We've lost that within ourselves. And it's all about now, that's such a huge picture. That's what's going on right now. And I had to check to make sure I was recording. And so this distraction and everything going on with this money stuff, Nasara and Jasara, and all this free money that we're going to go get, and oh, the world's going to be a better place. And it's just this distraction. It's this outside help again. It's the outside world helping us again. And so it's keeping us distracted from what's really going on. And that's all the 3D stuff, isn't it? It's like, once we're in the 5D, what are we going to need money for? We're not going to need money, right? What do they say? Earth is the only planet that we have this monetary system going on. So I try to stay away from, I just get into little bit arguments, you know, I disagree with a lot of people who are really pushing it. And hey, if it happens, great, bonus. But I'm one of those people who waited 12 years for 2012 to happen. And I was all caught up into that. And I read all the books. I took all the workshops. I did all the meditations. For 12 years, I waited for 2012 to happen. And when 2012 came along, guess what? Right, guys? I don't need to remind you. And so others saying, well, oh, you know, we had the calendar wrong. Well, if we knew so much about really what 2012 was all about, you think we would have got the calendar right at least, wouldn't we? So people are saying, well, we were following the wrong calendar. Well, for me, that's just another excuse, isn't it? And so I'm not going to look to outside sources anymore. And, you know, as soon as I decided, let it go, that funk, that heavy cloud that was in that doubt, no fear, I'm not in fear. It's just doubting myself, my own abilities, information that I get. That it's all about making them making you doubt yourself. And so when I decided to get rid of all this outside interference and stop listening to all that, my funk lifted, you guys. So I raised my vibration once again. And so I would, hold on. We've been getting sales calls like crazy. Yeah, here we go, another damn sales call. It's just been nuts. How about you guys? So anyways, this, you know me, in the past I've read books. Well, this is a book that I think all people like me should read and should get, The Great Cosmic Mother. It's a pretty hefty book, but it talks about all the history of the goddess and how she started and what happened to her through the centuries. Where did she go? How was she treated? How are women treated? It's all about the divine feminine. And I don't want to say that it's a feminist book. It's just, it's kind of like the original state of Mother Earth. It's going back to the original, I hate to use the word religion. We don't like that, the original tradition. And so many of us starseeds who have been here since, you know, for many millennia, many lifetimes. Hey, They're barking at nothing. Those people are connected to all of this. They're connected to the true origins of life on this planet, how it used to be. I guess you would say when God was a woman, or when God was in balance. The goddess is the god and the goddess, the male and the female. And all right, you guys, that's enough. Sadie, leave the rabbit alone. Rabbits are eating all my flowers. Okay, so here's a really interesting piece of artwork in the inside cover of this book. And so that's titled God Giving Birth. God Giving Birth. So that was done 1968. And if we look, God has breasts in the vagina. I hope that's not my husband, because he really interrupts a lot. Okay, so I want to go to, and this book was written by two women, and one woman was actually homeless when she was writing this book. And you can find Monica Zoe and Barbara Moore. And so Monica Zoe is S-J-O-O. That's how that's spelled. And you can find some of their YouTube channels. What are you doing? Oh, the old man. Damn it. The old man's there. I gotta go.